Hi everybody, my name is Jeff Van Winden. I'm a Lego builder. I've been building with Lego since I was a little kid. There was a small period of time during high school and college where Lego wasn't cool, but then Star Wars came out in Lego form and I became a fan again. After that, I discovered that there were other fans like me on the internet, so I became one of them. I'm going to give you a quick tour of my Lego room today, and by quick I mean about 30 minutes because I've already recorded that part and I know it's 30 minutes long. But I'm just recording a little intro here so that you guys can get to know me. I think that's it. We'll start the video of the tour now. Thanks. So first we'll start with my workstation. This is where I do my everyday work for my office, but it's also the area where I build on. My water bottles are in almost every picture I take, so it might as well be in this video too. Okay, so like I said, my workstation. Not much really to see here. As we move around here, I have some bins for remote controls, pens, and Lego bricks that are, damaged or chewed a bit. Followed by the shelf here where there's just some random things. Ziploc bags. As a Lego builder, we go through a lot of Ziploc bags for storage, so I always have some handy. This little bin off to the left here is my pin bin, where I keep all the Technic pins that I can access quickly. I have them in other locations as well for storage, but I find it's helpful to have a bin of pins. Moving up here, we have some of my display stuff. Over there, just past the picture of my kids, is some of the collectible minifigs, and you can see in the very back there are more collectible minifigs. We'll get to that in a little bit. There's a little bit of scrap stuff up here, stuff I don't want to take apart yet or just don't know what to do with, like those Chima or Nexonite shields, I guess it is. The advertisement for our local lug, Whack-A-Lug, and July sign for BrickFit from 2016 that I haven't taken apart yet. Further on this shelf is, again, some more scrap things. Also the flowers that my kids built me for one day because they were building Mario type stuff. And then some random figures that I have collected. Iron Man and his good buddy, the stuffed Lego dude. As well as my classic and Futron Lego figures that I can keep here because eventually I want to put them into displays. Moving up from here is some of the modular buildings. The first two of the modular buildings from Lego. These are actually sets, the left two most. Followed by the yellow one, which is one of my creations. It's pretty much the highest skyscraper I would build for a Lego town, just because I'm not huge into large skyscrapers, because to me they need a larger base. A few more of the modular buildings. The very first one, Cafe Corner here with the white and yellow striping on it. Followed by some of the other ones, because I don't remember the names. And over here, past this cord, is a custom, more modern type building I made to go on display, but it doesn't really have a home. And further to that is the Hogwarts Castle and a few other models we can look at in a little bit. All right, panning slowly so no one gets sick. So here's where the Lego wall starts. So Lego has 5 primary colors. When they were first out, they were yellow, blue, red, white, and black. They also added 2 shades of gray, light and dark gray. And over time, they changed the shades of gray. So we now have light gray and light gray, dark gray, and old light gray, old dark gray. So this first section here that's gray is my old gray brick, which is also a very good YouTube channel to check out one day. But anyways, so the very top is overstock in light gray, and beside it is white. My white overstock is actually pretty large these days. This next shelf is large parts. The last 3 bins are actually color coded. The first 6 are just large parts in many colors. Large parts to me are things like the larger radar dishes that just don't fit in with the regular radar dishes. Zoom in a little bit here. So I sort my Lego with parts that I commonly use. So my plates are always in bins, tiles, modified bricks, also round bricks and dishes and cones, modified plates, wedge bricks and plates. So that's in the white there. And then in smaller bracket bins down here, on the next shelf, I have the brackets, more modified bricks that are smaller, the hinges, panels, round plates, the smaller slopes, like the little cheese slopes that we have and the curved slopes, as well as decorated plates, or decorated tiles, I should say. And then below that, I would have the slopes. I usually separate them by size, 45 degree, 33 degree, and then others in curved. Followed by bricks, and arches. So there's another slope bin there at the top, and then there's arches, followed by large bricks, anything that's 1 by 2 by 2 or 2 by 2 by 2 and bigger. 2 by 2 by 2 isn't actually a size, but anyway. Followed by 1 by 3, 1 by 1 bricks in one bin, 1 by 2s, 1 by 4s, and then going all the way down the bottom, 2 by 2s, 2 by 3s, 2 by 4s, and then 1 by 6s, 2 by 6s, 1 by 8s to 1 by 16s, and 2 by 8s by 2 by 10s. That's a lot to say. Okay, so I have these. I'm not going to go through all those colors because that's just a lot. But I have basically old gray, white, black, and red. On top of this, I have some reddish brown. I don't have a lot of reddish brown per se in my sorted collection. A lot of it is taken up into other things. On top of that, try not to get too much. I can zoom in a bit. Top of this is my black overstock. Sorry for the light being right there. Yellow and blue brick are in this next section. On top of that is old brown. This is reddish brown, which is the newer shade of brown. And there's an old shade of brown. On top of that is my overstock for red bricks, brown overstock, yellow, and blue. All right, walking down here for a moment. I have to go around my desk. Okay, next section I have light gray, also known as light stone, dark red and green bricks in the bottom. That was a little fast, sorry. Followed by sand green bricks slopes up on this shelf, as well as dark tan and the continuation of green, and then some dark tan bins up top, as well as sand green bins as well. I have a slight sand green overstock at the very top. I don't know if that's going to zoom in, so we'll see. Anyway. And then light stone overstock, light gray, a dark tan, and I've got a place to put some minifig heads. My next section is, as you can see, as we're going further over, we're getting smaller sections of brick. So at the very bottom, we have, starting from the left, orange dark stone, which is our newest dark gray color, tan, and dark gray, which is our old dark gray color. So those are on the first 3 shelves. Moving up from there, dark gray continues up for the next few shelves. So does tan and dark stone. Actually, they continue right up to the top. But I also have some dark green over here at the very end. These bins right here in this row here. And then on top, we have some dark stone overstock, dark gray overstock, and tan overstock. Okay, now comes the colorful wall. So this is the section that contains basically all of the smaller colors. I've done it alphabetically. Originally, I had it sorted by color shades, and it was just a bit harder for me to do because I don't really understand the shades that much. So I've done it alphabetically, and I actually like it this way. So it's basically starts from A, or in this case B, because blue is the first color. Pardon me. And then I go down all the way to the bottom, which would be like the very light gray color, because V is at the end of the alphabet. So I do these smaller storage bins. These are bead bins. I can maybe talk about that in another video if people want. So I group them all together, and then on the second shelf, I have the larger bins if I need them. And then down below, I also have like the shoebox size bins. So I'll just be quiet for a minute and just see if anybody wants to see the names of the colors. I'll slowly pan across here. Lego has a lot of different colors, and some of them I have more than others. So here's and I like to label my bins. Some of these don't have little labels at the bottom. I have a sheet printed. I just haven't had a chance to apply them yet. I do this so I can get the order of the bins proper, and it makes it easy to see if I'm missing a bin, because if I only have bin 3 and 4 and not, 3, 4, and 6 and not 5, then I know something's missing. So I also number them alphabetically based on the type of brick. So bricks are before plates. So I've got some more down here. Wow, 10 minutes of this video almost now. And then we're getting down to the very bottom here. So here we're with our olive greens, one of my favorite colors these days. Not a lot of them. And then down below are kind of like the bricks and slopes of some of the bigger colors. And some overstock at the very bottom. I have some space here to add more overstock. It's nice to have that extra space. The last section here is kind of a darker corner. I have my trans colors and my metallics, I believe, are in here as well. So I have different trans bins, and again, the larger trans bins that contain parts. And then, oh, my bad, metallics are actually merging with the colors. Then down here, I have some of the smaller bins of, you know, smaller bits, my letters and numbers, my food and drink bins, bars. There's a trans yellow brick bin there, and antennas and bars and flags down here. And at the very bottom, again, overstock. All right, gonna back up here slowly. I originally, and I still have this, it's just, this is an old thing. I originally mapped my collection in Excel to kind of figure out how to fit things in best. So this is a really old layout, but eventually I'll print out the newest one. All right, the next section here is really centered around minifigures. At the top here, I have 2 bins of castle figures from my castle that currently is not on display here, but I will bring it out eventually and do some more decorating or putting them out. I just haven't had a chance to get them in there. So the first yellow bin there is the Technic minifigure heads. Sorry, the minifigure heads, as well as the larger Technic figures. I can show you one of those in a minute. And then some overstock. They're at the top just because I don't have room at the bottom. Then I move on to all of the minifig accessories. So this is all their headgear and weapons, utensils like, you know, spoons, forks, skis, things like that. Followed by body parts, body bits, things like armor and backpacks, and body parts like robot arms and things like that. Shields as well. Hair, mini doll, which is the Lego Friends lines, some of their parts. I don't have a lot of them because they're still technically in my daughter's collection or in one of my bins to be sorted. And yes, I still have some sorted Lego. At the bottom is, the top bin is assorted minifigs already built, and then below that are torsos and legs in each bin for well, that aren't put together, just kind of color coded. In the middle here, I'll just turn around for a second. In the middle here, I have a big build area. Right now I have an older base that I'm working on. Older meaning I haven't played with it or built on it for a few months. Those trans blue pieces are eventually going to be the trans orange. I have some of those in order. So I have a big area here. There's another base display there. I build castles, I build towns, I build displays, I build miniature scale, micro scale as we call it. A little pan of the room here. And stuff, whoops, that was really close to the camera, sorry. Stuff over here is my Technic brick that I still need to sort, and some of those figs I was talking about that need to be sorted. This area over here, where's my finger? This area all over here is my Bricklink inventory for instructions and my packing area. Have some music going usually as well. My minifigs are over there as well. This area over here is kind of just storage for boxes, cardboard for packing materials and stuff. This whole rack of bins here are my city display. There's a few of the city buildings that come into here as well. But this is my castle display, and I have some storage here for large items. My network area, some empty bins, and in those bins, or in one of those, I have my base plates kept. And just over here to the side around the pole is my store inventory for my Bricklink store called VW Bricks. Anyway, okay, my laundry area, will come to that in a minute, because unless you really want to see it, there you go. Okay, next wall. So this is kind of I won't say an L-shaped room. I guess it's with a really huge L bottom, but you know, there's a bathroom kind of behind this wall here. So, okay, so this wall is basically my Technic is in the first section. Excuse me, hold on for a second. Sorry about that. I haven't talked for a while, and I needed some water. And I probably talked too quickly, so I apologize for that. So this section here is my Technic brick. The way I've designed this room is I really have all the brick along the back wall here, my minifig stuff, my Technic stuff, and then followed by all the bigger stuff I don't use as often, but it's all accessible. So down at the bottom is my overstock for Technic bricks, and then I have random smaller amounts of Technic in different colors in each of these sections. Again, I'm not sure how good the focus is going to be on this, so as we go up, we get into more of the primary, in air quotes, Lego colors. So this is our old dark gray at the bottom here, light dark gray, blue, red, white, new gray of the light color, new dark gray, some more models. We'll look at those in a minute. So I follow Bricklink for all of my organization. So I try to keep with the Bricklink categories. So, you know, Technic, there's Technic axles, there's Technic brick, there's Technic connectors, there's Technic lift arms, Technic pins, steering pieces, and then some of the larger parts, like larger bricks and lift arms, go into here, or go into those bins at the bottom. I also, on this shelf down here, I have my black Technic, which is my largest amount of Technic, and my yellow, because it's a small enough part that it'll fit in there. On top, I have some buildings that were from one of my original cities. Just never had the heart to take it apart. So there's like a pizza shop and a flower shop and a nice sand green building. That's a little diner. Okay. So this next section is where we start getting into the large bits. So at the bottom, there are animals in that very bottom bin. On top is windows, and then there's the plants, obviously the green bins, door and door frames, fences and the large bar type pieces, cylinders, containers, black Technic we've already looked at. This is my BrickFet area. I was one of the helpers at BrickFet, and this is, you know, my little tribute to it. I hope we are able to have some in the future. So there's some of these, some of the models, Jason Elman's CN Tower. I can't remember who built I think Janie might have designed the clock tower from our Parliament buildings. I also have my name tags here. We have our original Moose from year one model, and then we had to pimp our Moose thing where we took the Moose model and made it something different. So I did a little statue of a moose. I mean, a couple of buildings from the Washington Capitol, and a couple of the U.S. buildings. Sorry, Americans, I don't remember the names. The Lincoln Memorial and the state capitol. The state capitol's kind of had some damage to it. I haven't found the parts to put it back together. These are from Brickfest, one of the first shows that I attended, and so also back in early 2000s. So it's near and dear to my heart as well. Then a few more of our models. We have Nathan Phillips Square and Niagara Falls. And still packed away in the back are a few other models. There's the Detroit River, the Detroit Windsor border, and there's also a model of the Roy Thompson Hall. And something else, I can't remember what this one is. What's this one? Oh, the Peace Tower. Whatever, I got the Peace Tower over here, so I think that's just an empty bin. Okay. All right, on top here, again, my voice is getting... I have a couple of Akiuki's Great Ball contraptions, something that I built during the first part of COVID. One day I can put a video up of these, how they work. Or you can just go to Akiuki's website and check them out, or just Google Akiuki. It's a fun one to spell, but it works. Okay, this section here is another of his modules. One of the Canada Post trucks. I won in an auction from Dave Cowdace at one of our Brickfets. So it's in really good condition. I've left it in the Ziploc bag just because I don't want to get taken apart. I've got a couple of Lego blocks in the back that have some random stuff in, name tags and old gears that I have no other place to put. Here we have a couple of Lego models, the Mustang and the Caterham, as well as a fun little gift Janie gave me one year in case of emergency break glass, because really the only emergencies we have is I can't find a brick separator. Just so you know, that's not an emergency we have these days because we have too many of them. A little bit of random bits there, we'll just ignore that. Moving down here, we have like larger plates, larger tiles, glass. I have a bin full of glass right here. Where's my finger? Right there. Tails, rubber bands, belts, strings, random bits, smaller stuff that just multiple bins or one bin to hold them all. I was saying we don't have an issue with brick separators these days because all the way down here is this orange bin of brick separators. All right, trying to move a little slower here. So now we're into the last wall of, well, second last wall, I guess, of stuff. Down at the bottom here, I have windscreens, the colored transparent. That takes 2 bins for windscreens. Basically anything that would be on a spaceship or a car is considered a like the window of a car. The next section here is boat parts, smaller boat parts, not the actual big boat hulls. They're in a different bin. Vehicle bases, wings, aircraft and engine down here. Stairs pieces, and I also have roof turrets type parts in here. Parts that are bigger and belong on roofs of buildings. Cockpits, larger bricks, and larger panels. These are really like the flying saucer type parts and some of the stuff that was in some of the earlier Star Wars sets. Above, I have more vehicle bins, riding vehicles, motorcycles, and three-wheelers. My limited selection of Bionicle, I didn't have a lot. Some of it was inherited from others. But you know, it goes there. And then on top I have a few models. This guy's from a set, so is Benny. But I got a couple of ships I was building. This one was a little, the blue and orange one here is a little unstable, so it doesn't hold together well. And one of my favorite models, the Technic Truck that I bought recently. I haven't bought a lot of Technic brick in a long time, but this one just called to me and I just wanted it. Earlier I was talking about a Technic figure. That's this guy here. They're from like the late 90s, I'd say. Maybe, yeah, late 90s. I think that's right, early 2000s. And they're really posable and cool. A lot of them are breaking though, I'm finding. Okay, some random creations. Lighthouse, a trophy I got one year as a thank you from a Lego project we worked on. My stereo VCR is actually my TV. Some more of my creations, a few ships, usually in a similar cockpit design with just different wings. And then a bigger version in the back. Some Blacktron, which is another theme of Lego sets I built, and a tank type vehicle I was working on and never finished. Some more random bits. I won't go through them all. There's my electrical bits are here. Wheels. Down below are more train tracks, monorail pieces, like the supports for monorail tracks. Raised base plates. They're like 16 by 16 plates that used to be used for boat piers. Another electric bin here. Monorail, I have a decent amount of monorail. Curves and straights, and there's some other bits in between. Plastic train track, 9-volt curve track, and at the bottom is my 9-volt straight track and switches. That bin is almost empty. Most of it's in my train display. I also have some train parts, the older train track, the single-piece train tracks, 4 wide train tracks, which was from some of the Indiana Jones sets, I think, or a minecart type set that came out years ago. At the bottom here, I have large panels, again, colors and black and gray and transparents. My wheels take up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bins. Things that we call lerps and burps. Burp means big ugly rock piece, and lerp is little ugly rock piece. I think there's also merp now, which is a medium-sized rock piece. I don't have many of those. Sports pieces, the basketball fields, soccer fields would be in there too, but I don't have any in they're all in use for other things. Some more smaller bins, some of my really old pre-80s Lego 70s style wheels and tires, some more wheels and tires, dimensions, the video game vehicles, I just haven't taken them apart yet, and large figure parts, the Bionicle type things. Above here is something you might have seen recently on Instagram and Flickr and Facebook. It's a building I'm working on, or a structure I'm working on to fit within a shelf. I wanted to, like I have ships on display here, I wanted to build a display, hopefully to go maybe right across here, that would kind of allow me to display things. So this is more of a cargo area. I had an old cargo train and a monorail. There's another monorail buried just back here, but I have to finish supporting this and getting the parts. This is a work in progress, obviously. Parts are on order for this. Up above is the old sorting bins I used to use, these things over here. I don't really use them for much anymore. They have some kind of aftermarket parts. There's some of the aftermarket tank treads and bits in here. And then this bin over here is dividers for my storage bins. When you have a lot of storage bins, you need dividers, and I always need to have some extras here and there. So, and then some old set boxes up top that I've acquired and found. They're all empty. They're just cool boxes. All right, laundry area. Who cares? Bricklink inventory. So I have a Bricklink store. I do some commission sales for other people. So a few of my friends have some parts in these two bins that I sell for on behalf of them, just because I have the store and I might as well do that and stuff. I have a bins of minifigure collectible instructions or bags of minifigure collectible instructions I haven't touched. Some random Lego paraphernalia, mostly the Lego magazines and stuff in that bin. The next one's just some old Lego sorting pick-a-brick cups. I just have them in there. Down below are my instructions that I need to add to my store from the past 3 or 4 years. I haven't added them in yet. And then over here is just my Bricklink inventory. So I buy some sets online, get some good discounted price, and I would put them in there. Okay, almost done. One more wall. Well, we're already on the wall. So down below here I have boat hulls, which are my big boat pieces. The old track system that we've used a few times for some shows, so I keep those handy. And then over here is sports and supports. The bins are a little pushed back because of that thing on the ground there. I think it's a plumbing pipe or some sorts. This is bins that contain my Lego castle. Of course, they all contain Lego. Hello. Castle is in like these 6 bins. And then, well, if you can read clearly, it's not Starbucks, it's Starbricks coffee. So that's my town display. Up here is parts for my train layout, trees. I have a big park in my train layout. I think this bin above here is also train layout. These are a lot of my sets that were kind of gift with purchase type stuffs. When you buy sets at Lego, you sometimes get a small gift. I also have some of those hidden in here, I think. This is kind of my junk drawer right now, but I have some hidden in here as well. And underneath is, I've recently reorganized, is a couple of bins full of base plates, and then the raised base plates as well. And a cloth I sometimes use for if I have to take a picture of something, just give me a white background. Okay, last wall or last bit of bins for storage or for Lego collection. Again, these are more of my town stuff here. The parts of the park, so you can see pathways and that. All my soccer plates are used as risers for putting buildings on. So I put those kind of between the road sections on the ground, and then I put the buildings on top just to get it up to the right height. A couple other buildings here, hard to see because of the cloudy plastic, but there's another one you can kind of see a bit. I have a lot of these bins. I find them really great. They hold 2 base plates side by side, 232 base plates side by side. They're about $20 Canadian a bin, and they're hard to find now. So at the very top, I have a bin of poly bags and collectible type bits, more Lego stuff or more Lego items that I've gotten through store purchases and things. This is my corner of boxes that I use for packing materials for my orders, as well as just putting Lego models into. These bins here are Lego instructions. A few of my friends have instructions in these first 3 sets. This one is mine. A lot of people buy instructions, though, and I don't really have a use for them because I can get them digitally. Up above are series 1 to 20, almost complete. I have the last few figs on order, I believe, for these series. So finally completing them. A sign that JD's son made for me one Christmas. Some Lego signs, because you gotta have Lego in your Lego room. A couple of the castle models from the 2000s. A custom built castle building that I had, Hogwarts, which I mentioned earlier. And then the This is all the movie type or TV show or Disney collectible minifigures. Also, I think those are all complete. Oh, the Ninjago ones have some spaces because my kids have stolen them. I'll get them back at some point. Last but not least is my packing area. Boxes for pulling parts, saran wrap because you need that, my scale, other bits. And down below is a box of envelopes. There's some more around the corner by my stairs. And then, that's actually a recycling bin now. And some receipts and stuff. So I think that's it. So I'll maybe just give a quick pan around from this angle. Well, quick meaning I'll try and do it as slowly as possible. And this video is over 30 minutes now. And kind of hard to see that, but anyway. Oh, I never talked about that. In the middle of the room there is my Royal York Hotel and Union Station, located in Toronto, Ontario. For the record, someone has asked before, this hamper here is, there's a laundry chute above in the bathroom that can drop to clothes into. Usually we just dump towels and stuff and not sneaky clothes, but anyway. All right, I'm going to quickly walk over to Union Station here. So, not 100% finished. I still need to work on the road at the end here. And there's still a few pieces missing that Lego hasn't created yet that I need to finish the model, but it's display worthy enough. So there's the train yards. This is pretty much matching the current Union Station where they have the glass atrium. And then the actual building. And behind that is the Royal York Hotel. With a sign that was made by one of my friends, Jealous Panda, using a laser cutter into the glass, or into plastic. All right, I think that pretty much ends the video. My heaters here, and just my other Lego display area with one of the newer Lego Space 3-in-1 sets and a couple of ships that I made 10, 15 years ago. I was noticing today that this is red and dark blue and white, and these are white, red, and light blue, or regular blue. So it's like, hey, that's almost the same scheme. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you've made it this far, congratulations. If not, I totally understand. If you want to see anything else, let me know and I can do another video. Thanks. So that concludes my tour of the Lego room. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry if I talked too quickly during the video. I was trying to give a tour as detailed as I could, but it's a big room. 40 feet by 20 feet, I think, ish, if not bigger. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you want to see something else, if there's something you wanted to see, if you want me to talk about the type of bins that I buy for my system, let me know and I'll post another video. Thanks and have a good day.